When is this bull run going to start? When is the altcoin season going to begin? This is Crypto for the Rest of Us, 6 days a week, tip, tool, or coin analysis. That's what we're going to talk about. This is September 5th. We're going to talk about the dates surrounding, let's call it view 1, which is the market plays out the way it played out last time. And then we're going to talk about briefly another view that it doesn't play out the way it does in the past. We're going to talk about the dates surrounding the events, and then also the things that I watch that I think you should watch as well. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a big dumb animal. Don't do what I do. Okay. So you've probably all seen this type of a chart, Bitcoin halving analysis. It's showing the halving dates here, and then it goes into 5 different phases: bull market, bear market, accumulation, expansion, reaccumulation. Basically saying how many days before or after the halving do certain events take place, and let's see if we can find a pattern between the last couple of halvings that would then apply to this one. That's why you're hearing people talk about various dates. So in what I would call view 1, it plays out like it does in the past. Let's talk about dates we know and things that are coming up that may have an impact, whether directly related to a halving or not. First of all is April 19th of 2024. That was the Bitcoin halving this year so far. We've got here coming up soon, September 18th and 19th is the next Fed meeting where they may decrease rates. October 1st, I'm just keeping an eye on it. It's on my calendar because October, November, December, it's Q4, and typically October from the past has been a good month for crypto, as has entire Q4 of each year. November 5th, we have a presidential election, so November 6th will matter. Now, 2 things about presidential election. 1, markets don't like volatility. We know that. So before you have the election, you have 2 potential future presidents. After the election, you have 1. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing, I happen to believe that one of those 2 candidates will be better for crypto and the economy in general. So I'm keeping an eye on that date. Then we've got Fed meetings also November 6th and 7th, and also December 17th to 18th. Okay, so technically speaking, from the past, we know that alt seasons usually start anywhere between 3 months and 12 months after a Bitcoin all-time high. That's what we're going to talk about. 2 different ways this could play out with regard to the all-time high. After having 12 to 18 months, somewhere in there, Bitcoin hits its high. And then somewhere between 3 and 12 months after Bitcoin hits its high is when alt season starts. Okay, so the first scenario would be this. We know April 19th of 2024 was Bitcoin halving. 12 to 18 months after would put us April 19th to 2025. That's 12 months. Easy math. And 18 months would be October 19th, 2025. So somewhere in there, we would have the next Bitcoin all-time high. Then, if the earliest was 3 months, we could be looking at July of 2025. July 19th, 2025 being the earliest the altcoin season would start. So that's saying, okay, Bitcoin hits its all-time high in 12 months, one of the fastest. And then 3 months after that, one of the fastest, altcoin season begins. Possible earliest would be July 19th, 2025. Okay, so here's an interesting one. What if the all-time high for Bitcoin already happened? We had an all-time high of this year so far was March 24th. Remember, it was pre-halving. It was in the 73,000 range. There's a theory that ETFs brought demand forward and therefore it hit an all-time high pre-halving. Then if that is the all-time high for Bitcoin, then it's 3 months after that is the earliest alt season, which would be June of 2024, June 24th, which already would have happened. And the latest would be March 24th of 2025. So it's possible that if you believe that scenario, where we've already hit the all-time high, yet all the other numbers play out, you're looking at, well, we know we're not in an alt season yet, unless it actually already happened. I don't think that's the case, but that's what some people might think. So what does that mean? The conclusion is essentially this. Regardless of scenario, alt season is anywhere from right now, we're in it, to July of 2025. when the alt season would begin. There are many that believe a lot of this has been pulled forward, so we need to keep an eye on a couple different things, and I'll show you what they are in a moment. First, let's take a look at this article, Outlier Ventures. They say, they believe the 4-year cycle is dead. They say Bitcoin had its worst price performance following any halving. We know it went over 70-some thousand. That was pre-halving. This is after. So Outlier Ventures head of research, Jasper de Marais, said that investors should move away from the notion of a 4-year cycle. He believes it was the worst performance afterwards, and we're done. Apparently, it's a Web3 accelerator. He says the 4-year cycle is dead. 4 months after the latest Bitcoin halving, we're witnessing the worst price performance following any halving to date. It seems, as I read on, that he believes, hey, the market's maturing. These past models no longer apply. All right, that's the opposite view, that things might play out the way we think they might. Here's what I watch. 3 main things that I always take a look at. Total 3, which, as you know, is the entire crypto market minus Bitcoin and minus Ethereum. We seem to be in a channel. We're waiting for this to break out. Second thing I like to look at is M2 money supply. You can see it's increasing and has been. We want more liquidity in the market. And then typically when the dollar goes down in value, this on TradingView, if you want to know, it's DXY. You can look at the dollars. The dollar's going down. That's usually good for crypto and inflation hedges. So those are 3 things I'm keeping an eye on, as well as those dates, to see if and when we have another altcoin season. That's it for today. I hope this was helpful. Hey, bookmark this video or save it somewhere, or just continue to watch and subscribe, because I'm going to go over this again and again and again as I watch those dates. But I think it's always good to have some dates. It'll probably take away a lot of your anxiety if you have a plan as to what you're watching, instead of just watching all of your cryptos every day, watching them bounce around, particularly in September, because things might get crushed a little more before they get better. Have a great day. I hope we can all make generational wealth together with crypto.